opinions you're about to hear on this show are strictly those of the panel. We live in a complicated world, and I believe we, the people, have the right to know what's happening in our towns, cities, and states. The mainstream media does not have our best interest at heart, and I want to share some information from around our great nation so we can fight back by being informed. Join me each week as we go after hours and get behind the scenes to uncover the truth.
The following program is rated TV MA LSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to After Hours. And I got a special guest tonight. I asked Ted if he'd like to hang out with me tonight and talk about this dire experiences that we're having right now with the mental health explosion. Basically, that's what I named the show because of all the people that are starting to have meltdowns due to all the, I guess I would say, their toxins building up in their bodies that's caused them a mental distress. They're having mental breakdowns because they don't feel like they can cope in the world anymore because of all the things that they've been doing to themselves. At least that's my take on it. Now, I may be wrong because I'm not a doctor, that's just strictly my opinion. But it seems like it's getting worse because in the last 5 attacks that we've had, it's been men and women that have been transitioning some sort or on some type of antidepressants and other medicines to deal with their problems. So is that what that you know of? Do you know for sure?
I think it's probably more than 5.
But that I remember actually listening and reading that they were going through a transition or re-transitioning back to being what they were before.
Exactly. Yeah.
So,
right.
It's pretty bad. I mean, it's really sad, the whole situation. So most of the things that I'm gonna bring up, I'll share the links so somebody can look them up themselves or share them with others. But it is way deep. It's really, really deep. It's a mental health crisis that I think we're going through. And it started, to me, that I noticed, I was talking to Ted a little bit backstage, that when you have a kid that goes to school and they're being bullied or whatever because they're a little different, they look different. I mean, I got bullied because I didn't look like my sisters. I wasn't blonde. I was flat chested. I was, all the skinny, all the things that boys thought was funny to make fun of, I guess. They call it Dolly Niblets and Dolly Nubbins, Flat Plains of America. I mean, I got called everything. And, it hurt my feelings and stuff, but there was nothing I could do about it. It's not like I could afford to go get plastic surgery and stuff like you see kids today doing. But my mom told me not to worry about it. She said, you'll fill in. And, and I did, but it took a long time. But I dealt with it. But these young kids are being told because they like pink or because they are the boys are a little more feminine than the other boys. The teacher tells them, or the school counselor, oh, maybe you should be a girl because you're just trapped in a boy's body. And then they get them, they get on the line and order them hormones and start sneaking them hormones, right? And then start calling them Tina or Giselle or whatever name that the kid thinks they want to be called. And that's how it starts. So then you have more and more people pushing that agenda on kids when they're not even gone to puberty yet. They don't have a clue what they want. They don't know who they are. They don't know anything about themselves. I mean, a lot of us are in our 40s and we're still trying to figure out who we are. So, just think about it. If all of us said, oh, well, I'm going to cut my boobs off and try something different. It's too late. Can't go back and put everything back where it belongs after you've whacked it all off. And the fact that adults will do this to kids that haven't even had a chance to find out who they are yet, It's sad. So
Yeah, when just think about 20 or 30 years ago, if a little kid, a little boy said to his mom, or a little girl said to her dad, "Well, I think I'm a girl," or "I think I'm a boy,"
mhm.
that just immediately got dismissed and moved on to another subject. It's like, well, yeah, you can put a dress on and pretend to be a girl for a day because your sister's having a birthday party. But now the teachers want to do like puberty blockers, like you'd mentioned. Like, who invented that? Like, where did that science come from to do something
Well, it came from
so
pharmaceutical
called a
companies.
puberty?
Yeah, it came from pharmaceutical companies, and they were going to make a few dollars off of it. So, I don't know. Honestly, I have no idea. All I know is that it's pathetic and disgusting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I'm going to start off by playing this first video uh, that I saw come across my timeline since the shootings happened, and I saw some of this stuff people starting to share it on my timeline. So here we go. Here's the first thing right here. I wanted to bring this up because I think Trump is handling it to the best of his ability. It says, by order of President Trump, the flags at the White House have been lowered to half staff as a mark of respect for the victims of the senseless acts of violence perpetrated in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And I just wanted to share this because a lot of people hate Trump and they blame him for all of this shit. Okay, he's as much to blame as the parent or whoever, whoever
Yeah.
else down the street that didn't get the gun for the guy or anything. So to me, it's ridiculous to blame Trump for this because he's only been in office, 7 months now, 8 months.
Right.
So he definitely is not. It's not Trump's fault. I mean, I think it's pathetic and sad. To me, it's the shooter's fault. Okay, a gun doesn't pick itself up and shoot people. Okay, this person was an adult. They made the choice to go there. They had a manifesto. They did a whole bunch of things, and they shot through windows and shot people because they wanted to take people out, make a name for themselves before they killed themselves, because that's what they said. They were going to commit suicide. And it's sad. Those were all choices they made themselves. So that's the person to blame. Now, the fact that the parents, I don't know. They'll have to look and see what the parents knew. Did the parents help them buy the weapons? All that kind of, because they had 3 weapons on them from what I found, from what I've heard. So, I don't know. It's just really sad. But I just wanted everybody, I want to start off with that because we do have a president that gives a shit. I really do believe that in my heart of hearts. But I want to start off with these things because this is another thing that I've noticed in these shootings is that who they're attacking. I don't remember. Was it a couple years ago where that guy went in and he went into what was it? It was one of those religious people that I can't remember if it was. I don't know what you call them again. The ones that live and they ride horses and they don't use electricity and we know what I'm talking about.
The Amish.
Yeah, was it Amish or the other group?
Community?
I can't remember what the other one's called.
German Baptist.
Somebody went in their school and shot a bunch of kids and then held them captive. Some guy. It's just weird how these people seem to, instead of going to a prison or a jail or to a gang members hangout, they go to the most innocent people to kill. Somebody sitting in a church worshiping their God, okay, with a bunch of kids in school, because I think it was their first day of school for these kids at this religious church, because I think they had a school there too, and take your criminal acts out on children, someone who's totally defenseless, or people that are worshiping. They're not sitting there with their weapons ready to go, and defend themselves. that's another thing that's disgusting to me about these people's choices is the fact they choose the most innocent people to kill to make a name for themselves. Look at me, I'm such a man. Oh, I'm a macho person because look at me, I'm killing kids. It's sick. And then people griping and complaining at everyone else instead of the person that just killed a bunch of kids. It's sick. The sick people that are rooting this kind of people on, they're sick too. There should be a law against being able to do that. It's sickening. But see, because we have freedom of speech, they're allowed to say, well, I don't give a fuck about the kids.
Right.
It's sick. But I'm telling you right now, I would want those people on camera because I want my neighbors and everyone in my town to see the people that like seeing children shot and killed. It's sick. And these people should be brought out into the public. See, that's why I told you not to worry about what you might think about what I was going to say, because I'm saying what I believe and I have the right to say it. Right now, you don't have to listen to me. You don't have to pay attention to me, and nobody has to watch my videos or watch my streams or anything. They don't have to like anything I do. And I don't have to like what you do. You know what I mean? But I have the right to say it. So I want to play this report from Newsmax because I think it's important that we get to hear this person's point of view because it is the news. And I think it's important that we get to hear all points of view when it comes to this stuff.
Christians are now the most prosecuted religion in this country. Nobody ever talks about it. And yet Christians seem like the happiest despite this. Think about that. These children were targeted because of their faith during the first week of school because they believe in God. And they were cut down when their lives had just begun by someone whose real identity the rest of the media ignored today. But we're not going to do that. We're not going to pretend the identity of the shooter doesn't matter. We're not going to do that, and we are going to name him. We're not going to name the shooter. We're going to name the shooter, and we're going to tell you everything we think is relevant because it does matter. There is a trans violence crisis in this country, and half the country, many of the same people who voted for Kamala Harris just don't seem to care. Kash Patel, the director of the FBI, tweeting today, the FBI is investigating this shooting as an act of domestic terrorism and a hate crime targeting Catholics. The shooter has been identified as Robin Westman, a male born as Robert Westman. The FBI will continue to provide updates on our ongoing investigation with the public as we are able to, meaning that according to the director of the FBI, the shooter was transgender. A trans shooter in a state where Democrats have made it perfectly clear that they support the insanity that this has become, what we now call the trans community in this country.
Okay, I'm going to copy this and share it in the chat for everyone. But the thing is what do you think about what he had to say, Ted?
I tell you, Janet, I mean, you look at a trans safe state, trans protective for kids, and this is the state where it happened. I mean, what else can you say, really?
I know, but did you agree with what he was saying?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, see, I did too. And it's very rare that we get this point of view on TV. Isn't Newsmax one of the channels that all the big cable companies said, no, we're not going to let you come on we're not going to let you come. We're not going to, they had to do it on their own, basically online and whatever else. It's because, and I still fall back on this. One of the same things every time I talk about any of this is the Smith-Mundt Act that Obama made changes to, basically. And then he signed it. I think it was in 2016 when they made changes to where we can't sue the media when we know that they're sending out propaganda, basically. So they can stand up there and say whatever the hell they want, knowing sorry, we made a mistake, and nothing happens because they know nothing is going to happen to them. The same thing with the pharmaceutical companies when if they're making medicine that they're going to make profit off of, but over time, we're seeing more and more people dying or getting sicker and sicker. They can't work, all these
Yeah.
different things. And then we find out later on they didn't do all the studies they were supposed to. They didn't do their testing. The animals died in the laboratory. I mean, all this stuff. And then we find out that Congress passed a thing saying we can't sue.
Yeah, they have immunity.
Yeah. Why would you have to give immunity to a company that did everything that they could to make sure it was safe and effective? See what I mean? That's all criminal sounding to me. If I go in to my mom's room and I get in her purse and I dig around and I open her wallet and I take money out of it, okay, I'll take a $50 bill or whatever. And then I leave and I go spend it and buy shit for my friends. And then my mom's crying when I come home and she's like, I don't know what happened, but I think I got robbed today while I was at work and I was going to buy medicine for my mom, but now I don't have the money to buy it. It's gone.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I'm going to feel like shit. And I'm going to tell my mom, I'm really sorry. I spent the money. And she's like, well, I got to get this medicine. And I don't have any more money. So what am I going to do?
Yeah.
It's my fault. I stole the money. Okay. I spent it. And now the repercussions is my grandmother's not going to get the medicine she needs because I was selfish and self-centered and didn't care about anybody but myself and making myself look cool to my friends to go buy them some shit with money that wasn't even mine. Well, that's what's happening to us right now. We have a government that's taking money in NGOs, USAID and all this shit, Social Security money that's supposed to be used on other people that put money in their whole life. And now I'm spending it and wasting it on whatever bullshit I want simply because I can. And now they know I did it. And then I just say, oh, well, I'm sorry. How is that ever going to stop if we don't start putting people in jail for this kind of shit?
Well, it won't.
That's what I'm saying.
Completely right. Yeah, it definitely won't stop.
It's never going to stop until we take back our country, period. Until we start saying this kind of shit can't happen. And parents need to start fighting for their kids. How can, honestly, just think about this. When I was a little girl, if somebody had taken me and took me and started injecting me with drugs, okay, and then they told me they can take me to the doctor and they can cut my little buds out that were starting to grow because I'm starting to get boobies, whatever. So because I want to be a boy, right? If my mom found out about it, she could call the cops and have the people arrested for child abuse and neglect and who knows what else.
But now it's the reverse.
Yeah, but today people can do that to your kid. And what do the courts say? Oh, we're going to take your kid from you because you don't want to believe that your kid thinks that they're a girl inside of a boy's body. You see,
Exactly.
It's psycho.
Yeah.
It's psycho. That is goes against everything I can think of when you go to the therapists and the psychiatry. I mean, how can any psychiatrist say that that's fine to mutilate their body because they think they're an opposite gender when they're a child? They're
still little. And they're still like what if they wanted to be Batman or Spider-Man or Wonder Woman?
Or a kitty cat. You can't give them surgery and turn them into a kitty cat.
Right. Exactly. It's the same logic.
It's sad. But now we have all these people that went and cut themselves up or let the doctors mutilate their bodies. And now they're going to have medical care for the rest of their life just to make them be able to live with the fact that they had a chunk of meat taken out of their leg to make them a penis. Or they had their penis pulled inside their body, inside out. And now they have to do certain things, procedures to themselves to keep their penis from glowing together on the inside of their body. And then the hormones that they're taking, having their prostate exam still, because they still have a prostate, even though they might look like a woman on the outside. All these things, and to go with that, all the psychological stuff, trauma they're going through, because they still feel like they're not being accepted as whatever gender they think they might be, because doctors are telling them you are a woman. When if you buried that person in the ground after they died and they're dug up in 500 years, okay,
Yeah.
they're going to say, oh, it's a man and it's a man and it's another man, but they have all this weird stuff here sitting with them, silicone boobs or whatever else that they find. They're not, their DNA is even going to say they're not a woman. They're going to think they're a man.
Hey, that's a great point. And no matter what they do with surgery on the outside, and these doctors, we can't understand how they've gotten licensed and the hospitals that are able to do these surgeries.
Yeah.
How can that continue to happen even though they're actually a woman or a man or a boy, unfortunately a boy or a girl?
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what's so sick about it to me.
Yeah.
It's really sad. Just like he was talking about, this state made their state a sanctuary state so that you could bring your children there and get them hacked up.
Yeah.
Because either mom or dad or aunt or uncle or grandma or grandpa
or teacher
or someone else told the kid that you're trapped in the wrong body and we're going to cut out your real body and bring you out of it.
Yeah.
That type of thing, which is impossible. Me going and getting plastic surgery to get new boobs, giant hooters, okay, or getting our lips sticking out like this, or whatever, or having my ribs removed to make me have a smaller waist, all of that is not make me, my child, whatever child I give birth to is not going to look like that. Just, I know I saw something on the news, it was years ago, that some guy sued his wife after he got divorced because it was fraud, basically, because he married what he thought she looked like. And then when they had kids, he goes, who in the hell are these kids belong to? They don't look like my wife, okay, because she'd had so much plastic surgery. He had no idea what she really looked like.
Oh, man.
Okay, so it is sad. It's sad that people hate themselves so much that they have to have so much surgery to fix it. But that's just still, she was a woman. She was still a woman, but she carved herself all up to look like a different woman or whatever. But now we're doing it to our children. And now that we're getting more and more states that are stopping it. They're saying you can't do surgery on a child. You can't give them hormones. You can't do all this different stuff because it damages them psychologically. Because when you block puberty, that's damaging to your body because your body's supposed to have this, it's supposed to have that happen. And then we're trying to stop
That's just common sense. And I think I've heard recently that like some countries in Europe have banned any kind of that kind of crap.
Yeah, they have.
Under the age of 18. Like when you get 18 and you're an adult and you have a mental illness and you want to do that kind of stuff, I mean, I guess that's no different than drinking liquor or, being able to
getting plastic surgery.
Yeah.
Just like I said, if you're an adult and you want to go get carved up and have ribs removed or
because if you're 14 years old, I don't think you can go into a plastic surgeon and say, hey, I want bigger lips or I want, a boob job.
You know why most plastic surgeons would say no? If I was to go in and say, I want to have triple D boobs and I want to have a smaller waist and I want to have liposuction and I want to do all this shit, the doctor's going to say this, that, and the other, do all the measurements and stuff, and then say it's going to cost you $387,000. And I'm going to say, well, I don't have any money. Why are you going to charge me money when you're doing all these other surgeries for nothing? Somebody's paying these people. These people are being paid by somebody. So
that's a whole other rabbit hole that we could go down.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying, though. Somebody's paying for all this. You can't tell me that all these young people that have found out that they're the wrong sex are having all these surgeries and the insurance companies or somebody's not making money to be able to pay these doctors to do it because they're not doing it for free.
You are 100% correct.
So that there's so many avenues for us to find out who's behind all of this stuff. Same thing with this young person who shot up this church, where'd he get all the 3 guns? Where'd all the ammo come from?
Yeah.
This person wrote manifestos. They posted stuff online. They did a lot of things, supposedly, and not one person reported them or something. See, that's why we got to dig around and find out, because if there were people that knew and nobody said anything, we got to start holding other people accountable for not saying anything, not doing anything. I'm a big mouth, man. I get in trouble all the time because I'm always constantly blabbing shit, you know? I can't help it. If I see somebody, if I'm walking through a parking lot and I see a guy slapping a woman around, I'm going to probably go over there and probably get killed, because I'm going to go over and say, what the fuck are you doing? You know, I'm going to get in between them. I'm going to try to help the woman or the kid or whatever I see is it wrong. Or I'm going to get on my phone and call 911. But I'm going to do something. I'm not going to just pretend and go, oh, I don't see anything. I'm just going to keep walking.
Right.
Because I'd hope that if I was the one in the parking lot being beat or something, that somebody else would get off their ass and try to help me, you know, do something, care about other people instead of just saying, well, it's not my problem. You know, I just think it's ridiculous. But I shared that in the chat. So I hope anybody who wants to share that with anyone else will. And then I'm going to go to the next one. I told you I'm going to be on fire tonight. I can't help it. I just get so upset over this shit. It's so wrong. And we lost lives because of it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, here is another nick in the armor, or whatever you want to call it. California makes students file a claim stating they have a mental health issue if they do not want to use restrooms and locker rooms with males. Okay, this is how we get in, or this is still going on. And one of the reasons why I think this kind of stuff's going to keep happening, because until we can get all of this shit under control and stop the madness, it's going to just keep going and going and going. And people are suffering because of it. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to play this for you. I think it's really, really, it's psycho. But if people don't tell you about it, you're not going to know.
I should a follower in California reach out and let me know that her daughter had to fill out a mental health accommodation form declaring that she had a mental health issue for, get this, not wanting to share the restroom, locker room, bathroom with a boy. Let that really, really sink in. In California, if you're a girl who doesn't want to use, a high school, middle school age girl, if you don't want to have to use the restroom next to a boy or forcibly undress next to a boy, that makes you mentally deranged. Not the boy who wants to be in that space, the boy declaring himself to be something that he's not. No, that's totally sane, totally sound in the mind, but you are the one with the mental health. Here's a photo of the mental health accommodation request. You can see it right at the top. This happened in the Temecula Valley Unified School District. Go ahead and give me a lobotomy. If that's the standard for being mentally deranged, is believing girls' bathrooms are only for girls and vice versa, give me the lobotomy.
Sickening. I just shared that link in the chat for anybody who wants to share it with someone else. And that's just one person talking about what their daughter went through. How many other kids that same day got a note like that because they said, hey, you know, I want to go in the bathroom and take a shower at my school because I just worked out or I just did PE or whatever it is, but I can't because there's boys standing there. Yeah, they still have all their dangly stuff, okay? And yeah, they might be letting their hair grow long and they call themselves Tina, but they still have a penis. Yeah. So that's ridiculous. That's like saying you have to go in the middle of the auditorium and strip down to naked and take a shower in front of all the students.
Yeah.
I don't see any difference in that. If you're being forced, even a man having to stand in there and take a shower with a girl standing there looking at him because she says, I want to be a boy and you got to call me Tom. Does that make her a girl? No, it does not. Okay. It's ridiculous. And then the kid that says they don't want to take a shower or undress in front of the other kid, they're the ones that's considered mentally unstable. So they got to get a waiver to sign. It's ridiculous. But until we stop this shit, I just don't see how it's ever going to stop. I really don't. It's
No,
just
you're
not-
100% correct. I mean, if somebody speaks up, they're like the enemy.
Yeah,
You know,
I
they're
know.
the problem.
It's really, really, really messed up. I just can't believe how much stuff I'm being able to read about. Okay, let's see. It's called Jake. I think it's this one. Yeah, here's another one I thought was really good. This came across my timeline. So I want you to listen to this young lady, which is giving me some hope that we got some younger people stepping in to voice their opinions. And I think it's important.
The attacker from earlier this morning who went into a Catholic church and did the absolute unthinkable to innocent, defenseless children has been identified as Robin Westman, a transsexual in his 20s who was known for espouting complete and utter leftist nonsense. If you think that the left is not partially to blame for this attack, you are lying to yourself. This is the narrative, this is the propaganda that they have been pushing down your children's throat since they were old enough to stare at a screen and have some semblance of an understanding of what it was saying, and now this is the outcome of it. For too long, we have seen attacks from transsexual individuals being completely swept under the rug by the media because it didn't fit the narrative. We've seen the same thing with the Free Palestine movement, which of course this individual also wanted to link himself to. It's absolutely disgusting. Even on the front cover of his notebook, you will see right away a vision of violence associated with the trans flag, because this is what they are told they need to do, and that it's okay, and that you should go out and you should do harm to Trump supporters, and you should do harm to anybody who questions your identity. And this is a totally valid reaction to have. This is the type of rhetoric we have been hearing for how long from people like Maxine Waters, who publicly stated to go out and harass those who support Donald Trump. How long we've seen this shit from people like Ilhan Omar, who now wants to give her condolences. She could shove her condolences where the sun don't shine because she is in part responsible for this absolute utter nonsense. Right all over his weapons, right? He had scrawled stupid shit like to end the life of Donald J. Trump. Isn't that a similar rhetoric to what we've been hearing from the left ever since the 2 assassination attempts, where the left is saying, damn, I wish they wouldn't have missed. All over his weapon, you see absolute, complete anti-Semitic nonsense, such as 6 million wasn't enough. This is something similar that we've seen back in California in 2024, where a man also opened fire on a Christian day school because of the Free Palestine movement. Because if you think that it stops with Jewish hate, you are deceiving yourself. It does not stop with Jewish hate. All over his weapon, it has that he's praying for the destruction of Israel and mashallah, because this is what they are indoctrinated to believe. Have you woken up yet? Are you understanding that this has everything to do with you? For so long, whenever I've talked about the pro-Israel movement, I hear from Americans, oh, you know, I care about it. I don't want to see innocent people die, but that's them. It has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with you, my friend. You are an infidel to these people, and they will use and they will abuse the mentally ill leftists in order to push their agenda onto you. And I hope you wake up before it's one of your children.
I just loved her passion behind what she was saying. It's just nice to see some young people that actually understand what is happening right in front of them. From TV, music videos, all the propaganda you hear on the news, what everybody's saying, that if you're against it, then you're transphobia, or you're a Nazi, you're all that. And it's just nice to see how smart she is, that she's absorbed all this information. And I shared that I shared her link in the chat, because I wish more people would listen to people like her. Not because I think she's 100% knows everything about it. It's just that she's not ashamed to share her thoughts about what she thinks is going on, and how she wishes more people would open their eyes and pay attention to what's going on around them.
Well,
And
we've seen the statistics, Janet. We've seen those statistics of the shootings.
Yeah.
Nashville, wherever it is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a lot of them been schools and churches.
Yep.
And Christian oriented I mean, I
Mhm.
think even one of them was Muslim oriented, but
Mhm.
just religious oriented.
It's still, yeah,
And
religion.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
And children, because schools are gun free zones and you can go in and you can, execute the most carnage possible before the police show up or you kill yourself, however that
Yeah.
happens. But it just seems like all of these shootings, the last 6 or 8, have been trans related,
Hmm.
unfortunately.
Yeah. And it's like, just like I said, I don't think it's just one thing or the other. Okay. When it comes to the trans or any of the people that are doing it, they're either on antidepressants of some sort or some other anti-psychosis drugs. The pharmaceutical companies seem to be involved in all the shootings because the people that are committing these acts are on some type of drugs.
Yeah, that's true.
So, all of this stuff connects to the pharmaceutical companies and to this weird ideas that they have in their head about why they feel they're doing it. You know what I mean? It's like even that guy that went and tried to kill a couple people that worked under Tim Waltz. Remember that guy?
Yeah,
And he dressed up as a police officer and was going to their door to get him to come and then killed them.
yeah,
That guy,
yeah,
even he was like uh, whacked out. He had lost his job and some other things, but he was taking medicine and stuff too. It's I don't know. I really do. If we could get somebody that could go through all these different scenarios and look into whether or not they were all on different kinds of drugs or whatever. I don't know. It's scary to me. See, I don't take any of that stuff. I don't take anything. I don't smoke pot. I don't smoke cigarettes. I'm not trying to say I'm a goody two shoes, but I've learned over my lifetime that when you drink alcohol, it affects your thought process. People make dumb mistakes, do stupid shit. I watched like 25 videos today, going through watching videos of young men that were drinking and they're leaping off of balconies. I mean, they're doing all kinds of dumbass shit. Okay. And women too, not just men, but there was 2 women that were getting in a fist fight on a boat and the guys were laughing at them. And so they just pushed the women into the water, because these 2 women were cat fighting on a boat. But women do dumb shit too. It's not just men, but we are not taking responsibility for what we do. We're always pushing it on someone else. Well, they may be mad, or like I was watching another video and had a young man and he had a sign and they were protesting the Pride movement or something. And some trans guy came over and he had a skirt on. He had red, white, and blue. Not red, white, blue, but rainbow colors on. And he's wearing a wig and jewelry and fingernails and all that. And he's yelling and screaming at this young man. I mean, this guy looked like maybe he was 18, and this other person was in their 30s. They looked like it, and they're yelling at the top of their lungs, and they're calling them every freaking nasty name they can think of. The whole time the guy's going, but I'm not trying to cause problems. I just have the right to be here. And he was talking in a normal tone. And it's sad because it just seems like all of these people that are saying you should accept me the way I am, but they're not accepting that we don't agree with what they say. See, it's a two-way street. Just because I don't want to mutilate my body doesn't mean that I don't want him to have the right to do it. But if he wants to do it, why do I have to agree with him? See what I mean? If he wants to do that, I just don't want him to come to my bathroom. That's all. See what I mean? I should have that right.
But you have to remember, I mean, we don't want to get too far off the subject. We're talking about the trans community.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That guy was a trans. That's what I was talking about.
That's a mental illness.
Mm-hmm.
That's not like if you wanted to be a cat, or if Janet said, well, hey, I'm going to pretend to be a goat or a sheep.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to condone that, I'm going to say, well, hey, Janet, you're a pretty girl. You're a woman.
Mhm.
You're not a goat or a sheep or a cat or a dog or a bird, even though that's what you identify as in your mind. But
Mhm.
I'm not gonna condone that and try to feed you bird seed or give you goat food. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
a
and
mental
I don't see
illness.
why. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying about that young man.
yeah,
You got the person yelling at the top of their lungs, demanding that I or that young man or us treat him and say ma'am and whatever else because he demands that, right? But
right.
when I'm saying I have the right to disagree, I'm being called a Nazi and all these different names and not
Yeah,
allowed to have my opinion. But we're supposed to have the opinion of the 1%. You know, everyone else is supposed to agree with whatever they say. See, it's not equal. Okay. It's got to be equal. I should have the right to say no, and they can have the right to say whatever they want, but they can't force me against my will to agree with them. And
yeah,
that's what they've been doing. They've been trying to force all of us to condone what they're doing to our children and in our schools, and to accept them in our bathrooms and in our sports and whatever else. And to me, that's wrong, because why does the 1% get what they want and the rest of us all have to? They're giving us a big fuck you. You know, it's
right.
bullshit. And
Yeah,
if they want something, then they should say, fine, go dress in your little whatever and go to your work or whatever, but stay out of my bathroom and just stay away from me. I don't have to have anything to do with you. And let him wear his little thing and walk around or whatever. And if people don't want him in their business or whatever, then they have the right to say, this is my business and I don't condone the way you're dressed to come in my business or whatever.
and I'm not going to call you Mrs. if you're a Mister.
Yeah,
Or
I'm not going to call him that if I don't want
yeah,
to. It's not
exactly.
any different than him saying he has to call me Janet from another planet. You know,
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
to me it's ridiculous, and I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to change my point of view to fit his narrative just because he's yelling and screaming in my face, telling me I have to. See,
Right.
I'm not going to do it, and nobody else should have to. You know, no parent should have to do anything to their child. If they think their child is not getting the care they need, they should have the right to take their child to another school, to another doctor, or whatever they want. It's their child, not yours. You see. So yeah, I'm hoping that we can get a lot more things done for these people than what we've been seeing. So let me go pull up this next article. I thought was really good. It's Carolina. Yeah, here we go. Now, this was another thing. It all fits together because this is in the same state. This
Good
is the
stuff.
Governor Walz signing an
Yeah.
executive order to make Minnesota a sanctuary for child mutilation and trans ideology and the very mental illness that took the life of these children. Okay,
Critical.
because the person that took those weapons to that church and started shooting up the place was in this state and was
Yeah.
able to do the things they did because of this governor signing this, forcing it on the rest of the state.
Yeah.
You people and this guy forced their agenda on everyone else in the whole state. So I wanted to do this real quick. It's only like 22 seconds long.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it is sad, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's done. Minnesota says welcome to a state that values who you are and protects you for who you are.
And the sad fact is that most of the children that are brought here by their parents don't even know what's going on because they're not even old enough to understand the consequences of what their parents are about to do to them or let
Well, now,
doctors.
Janet, I don't want to jump ahead of you, and we
Mhm.
didn't talk too much in detail ahead of time.
Yeah.
But this is the same guy that said he was becoming friends with the school shooters.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, this is the same guy
Yep.
that just signed the transgender mutilation of your children's sanctuary state.
Yeah.
Said,
Executive order for his
yeah,
state.
executive order. And I've become friends with some of the school shooters.
Yep.
I mean,
And this is the same guy that guy went and started killing, had a manifesto, was starting shooting all those people that went against some of the things that he tried to pass.
yeah,
And some of them were Democrats. The one woman that he killed was a Democrat, and she voted against it because she said, I can't vote for it because it goes against what I ran on and what I told the people I would do for them. Because she actually was trying to do the job that she was put in there for, to help the people of her state. And she was killed because of it. Same thing that this guy's manifesto was saying, that he wanted these people to suffer because of what they were going through. He blamed them because they wouldn't accept him as a transgender. See? Whose fault? And see, if you're going to take it out on anyone, you should take it out on the people that signed a paper saying that you were going to be accepted.
yeah, exactly.
Okay. Why didn't that manifesto say, I'm going to write a letter and I'm going to go see this guy in person and ask him why I'm not being treated the way that he promised that I would be? See, that's the sad thing I don't understand with all these people with these mental problems, is that they never take any of their issues out on the people that did it to them. See, that's what I don't understand. The person that transgendered you, the person who's pumping you full of all these drugs, all those people, they did it to you. Go to them and find out why you're not getting what you wanted out of it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying go there and kill anyone or do anything. I'm saying go to them and say, why aren't you helping me get what you said I was going to get out of doing all this to myself?
Exactly.
But they don't. They never do. And that's why I think these people feel safe about doing what this guy's doing right here. All these people feel safe because they know nothing's going to happen to them. These people aren't going to take their wrath out on them. They're going to take it out on people that had nothing to do with any of it. Innocent kids, because
little kids,
those kids don't have the right to have a good life because I didn't get one. See, that's their point of view. And it's sad and heartbreaking that we have people like that, you know, that do that type of stuff. Yeah. It's heartbreaking to me that we are in this position because of people like this guy right here.
Yeah.
It's perverted and disgusting. Oh, it's the fact that this guy won. I still can't believe it. I still am shocked that people actually vote for these people.
Hey, do they really? I mean, do you think a lot of these people are in office because they legitimately got voted in?
It doesn't matter what I think, because until we can prove otherwise, wherever I've worked the polls in 2 different states, everything I saw went by the book. So by the end of the night, when we counted the votes, I believed in my being that the person who won that night won because of what I saw unfold in front of me and how it works. But remember on the news, all the videos that were coming out showing people writing on other people's ballots and all the different stuff that was going on. I was like, if I did that, exactly what that guy's doing right there, sitting and writing on that whole stack of ballots, other people's ballots, he should be in prison, because I would have been arrested if I wrote on anybody's ballot.
I mean, it only takes a couple of those districts to really swing things another way. So all these people that are in office, if you look at the mayors and the council people in Memphis and Detroit and Chicago and Cincinnati and St. Louis and Oklahoma City, I mean, all these places, these people don't seem like they would have, looking at the demographics of the area, they don't seem like they would have been the most popular vote to get into office.
Yeah, I know they don't, but look at, okay, just like what I was talking about this morning in a space, somebody from Arizona, I was talking to someone from Arizona. I was asking him, whatever happened with your governor? Supposedly in court, they proved in court that she forged her mother's signature on a bunch of documents to get a bunch of fake deeds for property. And she's the governor of their state.
Right.
Okay. And that was coming out in court. Whatever happened? Nothing. Nobody did anything. Now, see, if it'd been you that they had in court proved that you had forged your parents' signature on a paper because she was a county clerk or whatever it was, then you would be in jail for that or something. You would definitely wouldn't have been elected governor of their state. I'm just saying, how do some of these people, it's because it's not just one thing. It's like crooked judges, crooked lawyers, crooked politicians, money, cartel money, all these different things all mixed into one pot. That's why all these people are getting away with this shit. And until the people in Arizona go, what the hell? If I'd done that, I'd be in jail. Until they start standing up and saying, F this shit. We demand something happen. But all that shit that happened I watched a lot of the trial, and they proved that she forged her name on these documents stuff, but nothing happened. I mean, it's just like Hillary Clinton when she went through all that Whitewater stuff, right? And she swore under oath in the state of Arkansas that she never saw those documents, blah, blah, blah. As soon as her husband's sworn in and she's in the White House, guess what? Her fingerprints are on the Whitewater documents. She swore under oath that she never saw, never touched. Nothing happens, That's why I said all this shit that came up with Hillary Clinton with the illegal server in her bathroom and all, I believed all of it because of what she did in my own state. She's a crook. And I don't trust her. And I hope that I see her, get some time or something because she deserves it.
Well, think about, just as an example, like Ilhan Omar in Minneapolis. Did the people vote for that?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. So,
but until something changes,
how did it happen? How did that transpire, and how did she get in there? And AOC and all these people and all these governors and Democratic mayors of these cities. I mean, I don't think the people voted for it.
I don't think so either. But until somebody in their state says, hey, we're going to look into this and see how these people end up getting in office, when I can't find a single person that said they voted for them.
Right. Exactly.
I don't know. But they got to do something about it. So until somebody does something. Now, a little bit here and there, you got the MyPillow guy that traveled all around the states doing that, trying to prove it in court, and winning one after the other to prove that the Dominion machines, you could cheat them. So hopefully something will come out of that. But see, that when you do follow the law and you take your time and you go to court and you do all that stuff, it takes time. You can win really quick if you cheat and you pay people under the table and you do all that stuff, underhanded stuff. Yeah. But when you do it by the letter of the law and you go through the court system, so you have documentation to prove that you won, then it takes a while. But
they stop counting votes in the middle of the night, and then you wake up in the morning and wait to see who won the next day. I mean,
Well, this is a little bit more of what the young woman was talking about earlier. It says trans should be categorized and designated as a mentally ill and potentially dangerous. Okay. This is a mental illness that needs treatment, and they should be denied firearms. I'm 100% behind that. The thing is, you have to have psychologists that are willing to go on record and say, this is a dysphoria. Gender dysphoria is a mental illness, But for some reason, they've released everybody from the mental wards, and now they just let them just wander the streets and don't
Yeah.
care whether they endanger people's lives. But
Exactly.
I wanted to share this video because it's got some of the information on it that we were talking about earlier. So hold on, let me. These are some of the videos.
Some of the manifesto.
Yeah.
Here's my note to my family and shit. Wow, some English writing. Wow.
Now, wait, darn, I didn't mean to do that. Let me pick it on it again. I meant to pause it like this because when you get on this, okay, when I share the link, you can pause it when it holds it up and you can read it better. You can sit and read it at your own leisure. Some of the stuff that's in this, because this was written by this person, okay, and you can check it out a little better. But I'm going to share the link in the chat for everybody.
Family and shit. Wow, some English writing. Wow. Hope you can read that.
I wanted to do this for such a long time.
Yeah.
I think I'm dying of
Peace,
cancer.
love, unity, and guns. Baka, my brata. Baka.
That's chilling.
I know it is.
And libido.
But this person was posting this stuff on their on YouTube and a couple of other. But see, do you see this? Look at it. This is his bedroom.
This message brought to you by BlackRock and ExxonMobil. Sponsored by Pabst Blue Ribbon. Brandon Herrera for president. Yeah, I met Brandon Herrera at SHOT Show last year. He and I had a brief conversation, but we agreed on a lot of things. So y'all should vote for Brandon Herrera for president. And Vintage Warfare promotes love and peace and accepting differences. Tomorrow, I'm sorry to my family, but that's it. That's the only people I'm sorry to. Fuck those kids.
Yeah, it's pretty gruesome, this whole thing. It's sad and depressing. And I'm going to share this in the chat for everyone. But the thing is, this person needed help. Okay. And I'm telling you right now, in my heart, I believe this person has reached out to many people over a period of time during this whole time that they were wanting to be something different. Yeah. And either they just said, oh, well, or they just shrugged their shoulders and said, I don't know what to tell you. But the fact that they could purchase the guns, buy all the ammo and all that stuff with what money? Where did this person have a job? Did the parents help buy it? See what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
that's all got to be dug into.
It may or may not be true. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
That his mom worked at the church and that he had 5 brothers and sisters.
Mm-hmm.
So he was one of 6. And that his parents went along with him wanting to identify as a female.
Mm-hmm.
and changed his name from Robert to Robin and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't know. I mean, those could be just rumors on Twitter or online, but you know, it just seems like there should have been some red flags.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why we have to be patient and let Kash Patel and the other groups of people, police officers and stuff, local ones, oversee all this and find out as much as they can from the truth and be transparent with the people to find out, let us know what happened, because at least the people in the state of Minnesota deserve to know who failed them, who failed this young person that decided to go and take the lives of others and then take their own life. Why? I mean, somebody knows something, because you saw the manifesto. He had a bunch of stuff written. He's apologizing to his parents and his siblings. And he mentioned a lot of names about why he wanted to do what he's going to do, go out with a bang type of thing. But a lot of these people do that. And plus you saw he was drinking during the time he made this video.
Yeah, but at the same time, I mean, what do we know about the Trump Butler, Pennsylvania shooter?
Mm-hmm.
And what do we know about the golf course shooter?
We don't know a lot about that. Now, the golf course shooter, they told us more about it, and that the guy was on psychosis drugs, that he was, schizophrenic and that kind of stuff. Okay, now the whole thing in Butler, I think they're still investigating it. A friend of mine brought something up to my attention that I thought was very interesting, and I've been thinking about it since then. Remember when Trump invited all the people from Europe to come before he called Putin on the phone? Remember that?
Yeah.
And he had them all in there, and he took them that specific room, and he pointed to the picture when he was grabbing his ear after he'd been shot. That was interesting, the whole situation. And the person they said to me was, did you see the looks on a couple of those people's faces when they realized what that picture was on the wall? And that he had wanted all of these people in that room to see that. Like he knew that someone in that room had something to do with him getting shot. Because you know how Trump is. He's very open about that, and he's very a troll. You know what I'm saying? He trolls people. Yeah. And so I still think that is being investigated. I really, really do, in my heart of hearts. And I do believe that we will find out who's involved in it. But guess what? Putin wasn't in the room. I don't think Putin tried to get him killed. But somebody did. Somebody knew more than what we know right now. Just like I think that, just like they've said almost every time that they've had a shooting, what did the FBI say before we had the new people in? They always said, we had that person on our radar.
Oh, all the time.
That's right. Now, if they're on your radar, but yet they get all these weapons and all these bullets, who's at fault? I guarantee if you went and you swiped your little card at the gun ammo place and they said, ooh, flag, red, you wouldn't be able to buy ammo and leave, would you?
100%.
No, neither would I. I wouldn't be able to buy it either. So why did this kid get to buy it, or that other kid that did the shooting and the other one that were all on radar? See what I mean?
Radar. Yeah.
So I'm just saying there's too many coincidences. 1, 2, 3, 4. How many has to happen year after year? It's like it's set up somehow. They use it to be able to put it on their agenda to stop people from, like me, normal people that aren't psycho, that have never committed a crime, and that aren't taking tons of drugs and haven't put anything online saying that we want to end people and shit like that with a manifesto. And it just seems so weird how they're able to use all this to be able to take yours and my right away to own a gun. I went to school, I took classes, and I got my advanced concealed carry.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm supposed to be able to take my weapon into schools, stuff like that, to stop a shooter from doing this kind of stuff.
You're 100% correct.
So
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, some people rush to judgment, just like the whole thing with the Butler thing, saying, "Oh, it's taking so long. See, they're covering everything up. Like everything's a cover up." Well, guess what? I don't believe that every single detail of every cop and every sheriff and everybody's involved in the cover up. That's bullshit. Okay.
Right.
Common sense tells me, yeah, there's a few people here and there that are involved in trying to cover things up. But we have to realize, just like I said earlier, it takes time to actually prosecute people. We got to have the evidence. We got to have all our ducks in a row so that when we do take him to court, he doesn't get off because you forgot to dot that I, or you forgot to do that, or you forgot to put that phone call into the paperwork. Shit like that. So it's going to take a little longer. And I see these people wanting something to happen, but they're waiting for the right something. I don't know what it is, but they know a lot more than what we're giving them credit for. And we just have to be patient and let them do their job. Trump's only in his first year of presidency. He has 4, and we should allow him that. And but I really do believe, I don't know, next chance you get, go watch that whole thing and how Trump toys with these people and the way he's upfront about some things, but he's letting whoever's there know that I know somebody was involved in this. I guarantee it. The more I think about it, the more I see what this person was trying to tell me. But see, they were observant enough the very first time it happened that they saw. So I wasn't. I watched it because I was distracted. We're all easily distracted by all the shiny things that are on the outside, you know, and that's just certain people's personalities are easily distracted, and I'm one of them. So it takes a lot to keep me focused, you know, on something. But I know where my heart is at, and I know what I want and what I want's best for our country and our children to be safe. That's what I want. And for people to be able to get the care they need. If they're asking for it, they deserve to get somebody to give them answers. I don't care who they are. And I just believe that this person was denied a lot of chances to get out of this. I really do. I think that we're going to find that out. I'm not saying I know anything. I'm just saying from my gut feelings and the stuff that I've already seen, I believe that this person was reaching out, trying to get somebody to listen, but they were brushed aside over and over again. I don't know if it by all, maybe by multiple people, but as much stuff as we got a hold of right away, you know, the stuff they posted, all these other things, they were putting stuff out there. It's just that nobody stopped them. Nobody did anything. Just like you saw when you saw the stuff in Butler and you saw the guy walking on the roof and people are filming it saying, there's a guy on the roof with a gun. They had almost 8 minutes to get this guy before he shot at anyone over by Trump. And they killed people, right?
Yeah.
But where were the Secret Service? You know, where were the people? They did nothing because they knew, oh, we gotta act like we can't. We got to act like we don't know what's going on so that he can take care of this problem for us. You know, that's what I said. To me, that was as plain as day. It was like a neon sign was blinking. Take him out before we have to take you out, because the guy knew he was going to die. They all die. They all commit suicide or their death by cop. Just like the guy in New Orleans that ran down Canal Street, running people over. He knew he was going to die. That's why they do it. They're at that point that it's death by cop. They just want out. They just want out. They want to end it. They want it gone. They want it done. And if they can't get the cop to do it, they'll do it themselves. So I'm just telling you, that's really sad. But I'm not going to play the rest of that whole thing. I did share it in the chat if you guys are interested in looking at the manifesto and the other little tidbits of information that are on this whole thing. but I don't feel like I need to show it. It's just bizarre and sad to me. I wanted you to see his notes because you could see how meticulous he was. I mean, there's dates, numbers, names, and it's very neat and tidy. Like he knew exactly what he wanted to say. And he said right in there, I've been planning this for a long time. So this wasn't something he just did that day and decided to go down the street and do it. This person was thinking about it for a while. And I just wish that it would have been different. I wish that he'd been able to get the help that he needed before he had to hurt other people. I really do, and himself. But I hope they get to the bottom of it, and I hope the truth comes out. That's what I should have said. But I just wanted to share that because it's information, and I believe that the American people deserve the right to be able to at least have it presented in front of them. Now, if you don't want to take the link and read it and find out stuff for yourself, that's your prerogative. I'm not going to force you guys to look at it, but I wanted you to have the chance to be able to see it, have the opportunity to read it. But this is the other thing that came out. Shooter is a 22-year-old biological male transgender who posted a manifesto on YouTube. Now, see, YouTube is the same people that keep telling me and taking my stuff down. They took down my 7-minute video because I posted a video about Comet Ping Pong, and it was all about Podesta and her emails back and forth. Okay. And the code words, stuff like that. And guess what? They took my stuff down for 2 weeks and said I was a cyber bully.
Yeah.
So, but this guy posted this stuff up and nobody said anything about what they were doing until they killed people. See, YouTube wasn't on the ball with that, were they? But boy, as soon as I posted my video and went live, boy, they took me down because they didn't like what I had to say.
It's amazing how quick they can scrub that stuff.
I know. Yeah,
because
they got people reading all this stuff.
Right. Yeah.
It says here, out of respect for the investigation and victims, I'm withholding these specifics at this time, but I have it archived. So this person, if you follow this guy, okay, right here, I'm going to share it because a lot of people are doing it, but this is the person that's posting this person right here on X. If you want to find out more stuff later as this progresses, go and follow them on X and be able to follow them to get their input of things that they're posting. See, they'll be posting more and more stuff on their timeline, and you'll be able to read this stuff. But here you go. Here's a pattern here. This is the other one I wanted to show you. Denver school shooter. Devon Eckerson, identified as trans. There's another one, identified as trans, non-binary, gender fluid, unconfirmed, and then another one that's unconfirmed. But these are all names right here that you guys can look up yourself and research this stuff yourself. Instead of relying on someone else telling you, I'm showing it to you because I want you to look it up and read it. Make your own decision of what you believe is going on. I believe that these people are pumped full of hormones and drugs that they don't need in their bodies, and that's causing them to have erratic thoughts, not sleeping well. They're not normal because they're not themselves, because they're being pumped full of stuff that doesn't belong in their body. Okay. You can't be rational and stuff when you're taking medicine. If you go and you get your root canal and they're giving you all those shots right in your jaw, and then they gas you, and then they put you under so that you're asleep through it, right? Or you hardly know what's going on. Well, lots of people post a video afterward because they're like, hey, what's going on? They're all messed up. So tell me that you can drive a car, go to work, get on your computer, and do all that normal stuff that you would normally do when you're on all that meds. You can't. You will not. You would be fired from your job. You probably lose your car. You might hurt people. There's a lot of things because you're not in your right frame of mind when you're on all that stuff. So why would we think any of these people that are taking hormones or who knows what else, psychotic medicines or whatever, because we don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but I can tell you right now, if they were in transition of some sort, then they were being pumped full of hormones that were totally opposite of what they were born.
Exactly.
So they were not thinking clearly. These people were not in their frame of mind of who they normally would have been 10 years ago, maybe. See, that's what I believe. And I hope that somebody is going to look into all this, because this is not normal. That's not a normal for these people. And these people were once a normal kid that would play with their parents and their siblings and their grandparents, eat cookies and watch cartoons on TV. Every one of these people.
You're 100% correct.
We all did it.
Yeah.
So I really do believe this is we're gonna find out that this is all interconnected, and this person's just the latest one to add to this list right here.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to see this, all you got to do is follow the link that I sent you, and it will bring you to this post, okay, on X, and then you can follow this person and read all the rest of their stuff that's on this post. This is it's important, I think, if you want to know more or learn more about what's going on with this. I really do believe that is important that you get the information yourself, because you should be able to read it and absorb the information as you are able to retain it yourself. And if you have the link, then you can go back and look at it later, or show it to your friends or your family members that you think this is important that they see it. But this other one I want to share is another one I was talking about that I think is important, because this right here is going to help with what we're talking about right now. A lot of people say it has nothing to do with it. It does, okay? Because when you try to share any information, whether it's about trafficking, the cartels and drugs, this stuff, the trans stuff, shooters, all this stuff, when you try to share it on, let's say, Instagram or Facebook, and they're saying, oh, you can't share that. That's inciting violence, or that's this, that, and the other, whatever it is that they come up with. Hopefully, this new thing that Trump is trying to do with removing censorship in social media, what he's doing with this, I think is going to make a big difference. I'm hoping, because remember, I had my channel taken down multiple times already, simply because I talked about some of these things in videos just like this, live streams, that they didn't agree with. One of them was about the COVID vaccine, and it was Tucker Carlson interviewing the Surgeon General of Florida, right? And it had been up for over 3 weeks on Tucker's channel, and I took that snippet of this part of the interview that he had, and I put it on my show, and they took my show off, my video off, and took my channel down for 2 weeks. YouTube did, because they said that it was medical misinformation.
Yeah.
And I said, well, how could it be misinformation? He's the Surgeon General of Florida, and it's still up over on Tucker Carlson's channel. So why is my little tiny channel that's not even monetized getting hammered when you got that up? But I know Tucker, he gets millions of views. It's making YouTube a lot of money. So they're not going to take him down and harass him. They're just going to harass little people like me. So hopefully this whole thing with this EO that Trump is going to do, or it already did, is going to make a difference. But here, I'm going to play it for everybody and make sure it's turned up. Here we go.
Therefore, today I'm signing an executive order to protect and uphold the free speech and rights of the American people. Currently, social media giants like Twitter receive an unprecedented liability shield based on the theory that they're a neutral platform, which they are not an editor with a viewpoint. My executive order calls for new regulations under Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act to make it that social media companies that engage in censoring or any political conduct will not be able to keep their liability shield. That's a big deal. They have a shield. They can do what they want. They have a shield. They're not going to have that shield. My executive order further instructs the Federal Trade Commission, FTC, to prohibit social media companies from engaging in any deceptive acts or practices affecting commerce. This authority resides in Section 5 of the Federal. Therefore, today I'm signing.
I think this is awesome, and I'm going to share this with you guys in the chat because I think it's awesome that we have a president that's actually trying to do what we asked him to do, to help us be able to share information, be able to talk about trafficking or drugs or all this stuff on the platforms that we're on already. Because I'm not on Facebook. I left Facebook because I was treated like dirt and censored when I was on there. So I left. I'll tell the same story that I told last time. I talked about it. When I was on Facebook, it was during the 2020 election, or right before that. But it was during that time when Trump was running again. And somebody had posted something, because it came across my timeline. So I don't know who posted. I don't remember that. But it was an Antifa person, and they were holding the forehead of a cop like this, and they had a knife to their throat and was cutting a cop's throat that was down on their knees. So I clicked the little button and I wanted to report it because I thought it was offensive, right? Because everyone should have the right to do that. So I was sent, it was like 2 days later, I got a little thing that said that was not considered offensive, that was considered artistic expression. This is what right? So I said, okay, fine. So I had some friends help me take that and swap it around and make another picture, and it made it look like the cop was doing the exact same thing to the Antifa person. Then I posted them side by side, and I posted it on my timeline. And almost within an hour, I got a thing saying they took it off and said that I had to remove it. That it was not or I was going to lose my YouTube channel.
No way.
Facebook account. And I was like, you told me it was artistic expression. Well, we find it offensive. That's what they told me. So it's our way or the highway, basically. So I just said, fuck you. I changed my picture to Clinton in the blue dress. That was in Epstein's house. I changed my name to just Lynn, put Lynn on, and I went all the way to the bottom where I first started years before and started deleting everything. So deleting. It took me days and days, because as I deleted it, I put trivial shit on there like memes, dumb animal, kitty cat videos, and stupid shit like that to replace the whatever you call it, the whatever it is that you call the X's and O's, or the ones and the zeros, or whatever the computers put in there that they can read. I replaced the data I took away with new data so that they wouldn't be able to do it. But guess what? It's been since 2020, and I still get emails saying someone's trying to log into your Facebook account. I'm still getting that. So they never really let me delete your account because they're making money off all the fake commercials or whatever else is going on there, because it looks like I'm still on there, even though I'm not. Right. So, but that's how biased they are. And I still believe that they're still that biased. I still believe that whatever that guy's name is, the lizard guy, still hates anyone that wants to have freedom of speech, because he deserves to have whatever he wants, but fuck you. That's I think about him. I can't stand him. I think he's the scumbag, and it made me sick to my stomach to see him sitting with some of the people that he sat with at the inauguration for Trump, as I was like, I hope Trump doesn't trust a damn thing he's saying. But hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully they're using him to get whatever they need from other people or something. But he's a skanky, disgusting pig, and I can't stand him. I don't care how rich he is. If he ever came up to me and asked me if I wanted autograph, I'd say, fuck no, and I'd walk off. I have no problem with that, because I can't stand him. I think he's the scum of the earth, and I don't care how much money he has. He is not better than any other person. Honestly, he's useless. I mean, he is disgusting and repulsive. And I'm not a good Christian to say what I said, and I'm sorry I did that, but I can't help it. That's how I feel. He's a loser, and it's a shame that people like him has so much control over other people. And I think that's wrong. It's terrible, and he's part of the problem. He's part of the reasons why we're where we are today, because of his censorship, not letting people find out the truth about what's going on around them in their communities and stuff, because they're not allowed to share anything.
Yeah, you're talking about Zuckerberg?
Yeah. Oh, that's his name. Oof.
Yeah.
Stand the motherfucker.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I hate that guy. He's scum. And what they did to me as a nobody, just a little tiny speck blip on the radar for my little tiny Facebook page that I had, for that one thing that they did to me when they said that that was artistic expression. But when I did it, it was offensive. I did the exact same thing. It was their picture, and all I did was swap it around, and they didn't like that. See what I mean? Totally bullshit.
Isn't that crazy?
No, it's not crazy. That's them. And they'll do it to anyone. I don't care if it's Grandma Jones. They'll throw her off the bus like that if she didn't agree with whatever they said. That's why people don't say anything. That's why people that are raped or incest victims or any of these people, they don't say shit. They just sit there and let the rapists just keep doing it to other people, because they know that everyone's going to be pointing the finger at them. It's their fault. What were you wearing?
Yeah.
What perfume did you have on?
Right.
Did you show too much ankle? You deserve what you got. See, that's the attitude that we get. And that's wrong. I don't care if she's butt ass naked walking down the street. She doesn't have the right to rape her.
Right.
Period. That's how I feel. And I'm very verbal about it. I don't give a shit, because that's my point of view. That's my thoughts. And I have the right to say what I think is my opinion. I'm not saying it's fact. I'm saying it's my opinion. And I've always said that, but sometimes they don't care. They don't like what I have to say, so I'm going to get punished for it. So if I don't have a shit show tomorrow night, you guys are going to know why. So I'm just letting you know. I might not have a channel tomorrow because YouTube does not like me. But I can't help
we'll get
it.
you on there somehow, Jane.
I'm so passionate about what I believe. And I think every person on this planet deserves the right to make their own decision with facts. Give you the facts and let you go through it and say, it's not for me. And then decide and walk away or jump right in, right? It's your choice, not someone else's choice to force you into making a decision without all the facts. Because if some doctor told you, if we do this chemotherapy, your kid is going to be cured. Okay. Yeah. And then another doctor said, if we do this, your child has 50% chance of survival. And guess what? All the people are going to run over to the doctor that said you get 100% chance of surviving. Okay. So the doctors that tell you the truth are the ones that are put down on the bottom, because you don't like to hear exactly all the things that they're going to tell you. The ones that are going to pump sunshine up your ass to get your money, because they're going to get paid whether your kid dies or not. They don't give a shit. See what I mean? They're going to lie. They're going to say whatever they have to get that money, just like all the plastic surgeries and all the other shit. All these kids have been mutilated. They got paid. Those doctors got money.
Yeah.
They didn't do it for free. They did it for money. So that's a lot of people just don't think that far. They just don't go into it that deep, because they just go, oh, it's tragedy. And they say, oh, let's go to the next thing. Just like I said, I'm in a space, it's early in the morning, and we're talking about children being trafficked and stuff. And then someone gets a mic and they say, this is sad and depressing. I don't want to talk about this while I'm trying to have my coffee. And I'm like, what about all the kids that are being raped and sold? What about, how do you think they feel? I bet they're having a wonderful morning. That's what's so sickening to me, is these people that just kind of like, I don't want to deal with it right now.
Yeah.
Pathetic and disgusting. I have no use for people like that. I mean, if you're walking down the street and you see something and you just walk by because you don't want to deal with it right then, well, then you might as well have thrown the rocks and been involved in it, because you helped that happen, because you did nothing. You just walked by instead of getting on the phone, walk by and say, hey, there's a something going on, blah, 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 in this address, and just keep walking. You're not having to get in the middle of it, but guess what? The cops know about it now because you took 5 seconds to call them. See, that's all you got to do. Tell someone. If you don't want to be the one to do anything, tell someone else that they can do it. But the other day when we were watching those people getting beaten in the street, and there was 100 people standing around with their cell phones videoing it.
Yeah.
And one day, one of those people that was taking the video is going to be the one on the street getting their ass beat. And they're going to be begging, help me, call the police, help me. Then they're going to wake up in the hospital and maybe be able to drink or eat or do anything again on their own.
Yeah.
When they did nothing for the other person. So that's why it won't be me. I won't be the one. I'll probably die because I will intervene. And, but I'm going to die knowing I'm going to heaven because God's going to say, yeah, put her way in the back where she can barely see me, but she can come, but she can't be up here with me. I don't care. Woo, I made it. Yeah. I'll be excited about it. But the thing is, I can't do it. I can't just sit back and do nothing because that's not what my mother would want me to do. And my mother's already in heaven and I want to see her again. So,
Well, you're not going to die. I mean, you just got the right attitude.
If I get in the middle of something that I shouldn't be in the middle of, I might die. I mean, you know what I'm saying? But you're right. I and I think you'd do the same thing if you saw something. You would at least make a phone call. I know that.
Well, absolutely you would. I mean, but getting involved or making a phone call is something different than the beat downs that you were referring to in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Where that poor girl got punched in the face and got knocked out, and
the other guy was getting beat up, and there people were just standing around with their phones.
Yeah, everybody
videoing it.
Not
one of them, none of them called the cops. Remember the sheriff when she went out there? She said, "Why didn't anyone call 911?" All those people, none of them cared. Because guess what? They said, "I don't want to get involved." They just kept walking.
Right.
That's like that in California years ago. There was a woman who was being assaulted and stabbed in her front yard. Like 34 times, 37 times she got stabbed by a psycho that came to her door and was attacking her. And people were just standing in the street watching a guy up on a telephone pole, an employee of the city or whatever that was working on a pole, climbed down the pole as fast as he could and ran and jumped on the guy. That's the only reason she lived. Down the street. Wasn't even, there were people just standing there, did nothing. And see, to me, that was one of there was I don't remember, it was somebody was saying that people that stand around and do nothing and they're on camera and they're caught just standing there, they should be arrested or fined or something for doing nothing.
For sure. I mean, these people that just stand around and turn their phones on and want to film it. I mean, there's got to be some complicity there.
It's sick. I mean, it's if I saw people in the crowd, okay, and I recognized any of them later, and they came up to shake my hand, I wouldn't shake their hand. I would want nothing to do with a person like that, because when you hang with people or make friends with people that are not good, that did that, guess what? They're going to do that to you.
Yeah.
Something ever happened and you are in a situation where there's a fire or earthquake or some other tragedy going on, they're going to run and leave your fucking ass laying on the ground. They're not going to give a shit. They've already proven to me that all they care about is this cell phone. Oh, I'm going to get a selfie with these people. I'm going to put this, it's going to go viral. That's all they're thinking about. They don't give a shit. Those people could have been killed. They were being beaten to death in the street and they did nothing. They didn't even call 911. It's disgusting. Yeah, I would have ran up and kicked that guy in the balls. The one that or something. I jumped on his back. I'd punched him right in the face. I would have done something. And that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying I know I'll probably end up dying somehow like that.
No,
because if I ever saw that,
no, you won't.
I would do something because I couldn't stand around and do nothing. There's just no way. I'm not one of those people. I couldn't do it. Even driving on the road. I remember one time I was driving. I had two babies in the back seat. I was babysitting for one of them. One of them were mine. And there was a tunnel that went underneath the other road. Okay. And there was 2 lanes, this way, that way. And it was cement on both sides and nowhere to go. And we're going down the road. Okay. The car's coming this way and I'm going this way. A lady in a car speeding runs up to my ass and goes around me and darts to get into the tunnel, I had to slam on my brakes, and I there was nowhere to go. It was all cement, right? Oh my God. All I could think of was wanting to beat the fuck out of that lady. I wanted to chase her down and beat her up, but I had 2 babies in the back seat. I couldn't do it. So I just prayed, please God, help me stay calm. Help me get out of here safe. Don't let me do something stupid. That's what I kept telling God to help me with. And I didn't do it. But and then after that, I prayed, I hope she doesn't kill someone else. If she wants to drive off the road and kill herself, that's on her. But to hurt other people because you're self-centered and selfish and you just want to get somewhere in 5 minutes faster than you would have, even though you left 5 dead people behind you because you ran them off the road. Those people, I do believe in people being prosecuted for road rage and stuff like that. It's wrong. People doing that kind of stuff is wrong. But I only got 2 more things. But this next thing is I want to share with everyone is this is it right here. This was another thing that came across my timeline. Shocking news. If there is any truth in this video from this is a person that ran a hotel, but this is in another country. This is, I think, in Europe. But I still think it's important because it's talking about them preparing for a terror attack at a school. So make sure it's turned up. I thought this was interesting because
people of England, Ireland, Scotland, and Wales. First of all, I want to apologise because I feel I betrayed you. This is going to be very hard for me to do, but it needs to be told. I'm not going to tell you my name. You could just call me the whistleblower because this needs to be told. I own a small bread and breakfast / hotel on the outskirts between London and Bristol. Exactly where, I won't say. I was commandeered by the office of 10 Downing Street to rehome refugee families. In the first lot of refugees.
Well, I know this doesn't have anything to do with the transgender, but it basically what she's doing is she's giving a bunch of her property that she has. It's like a warehouse and a hotel, right? And she's putting a bunch of these people, refugees, up in here. And then the government comes and delivers her a bunch of crates, and he gives her own box, but tells her not to open any of the crates. And there's keys or whatever, and that she's supposed to give these keys to the different people that are in these hotel rooms that she's doing. And she's being paid very well, okay, by the government. But for some reason, one of her friends said, you need to open that box. So she opens her box, and it tells her not to tell anyone about the crates and not to share information with them. So the more she thought about it, she thought, what's in those crates? She started thinking, what can possibly be in it? And she said she got a key and opened the first crate, and it was filled with weapons. And her and her friend just started freaking out about it. So she got the second key and opened the second crate, and that's when it was filled with grenades and other things like that. She didn't know what to do. So she got friends of hers to help her take the crates to a different location so that they wouldn't get to these people. So that's why she became a whistleblower, is because she was petrified that the people that used her hotel were paying her that money to do whatever they were going to do with those weapons, with these people that aren't even from her country, to do whatever they're going to do, terrorist attacks or something. And that the schools in her country are now doing all these drills and stuff. And she says it's because she was a whistleblower and told them and showed them what she had, what she was given. And she doesn't know who was involved. Now, she thought it was her government. But apparently part of her government are having the same problems that we are. We have half of our government that wants bad things to happen, and the other half is trying to fix the mess. So I wanted to show you that, but it really doesn't have anything to do with transgender stuff. So I'm not going to play the rest of it. I'm going to share it. the link so you guys can look into it, because it was really, I think it's very interesting, but it isn't anything to do with transgender. So I'll just share it in the chat. But the last thing I want to share is a website for anyone who's having problems themselves with suicide, or thinking about hurting others or hurting yourself. I'm going to share this link in the thing. If you know of anyone who's having trouble with wanting to commit suicide, or you think they might have a tendency to want to hurt someone, if you are cleaning your child's room and you find something that looks like it could be a manifesto, that they're having trouble at school with their teachers, or you're having problems with them, reach out to your city attorney, or go to your county clerk's office and ask, what can I do? Who can I contact? Try to find some help. Don't just give up. Don't give up on your kid or your loved one or your friend simply because you can't find someone to help you. Just keep asking. Go to your church. Go everywhere you can think of until you can get someone to help you. Get the right people to help you with this person, because I don't want to see more people hurt simply because we don't know where to go or who to ask. It's sad. But this person was going to die, and they said so in the paperwork. If you zoom in and read some of that from that link I shared, they knew they were going to die. They were ready to die. They didn't want to live through this life anymore, and they just weren't thinking clear in their mind to go and hurt other people, take other people down that were totally innocent, had nothing to do with their problems. But they weren't thinking normal. They weren't in a normal set of mind, and they weren't getting the help they needed. So they took it out on others. Okay. Yeah. I'm not making up stuff for this person. This person will have to go before God one day and be judged. Whether they believed in God or not, it doesn't matter. They'll be judged for that. But 100%. I want you to pray for the families of the people that lost their children and all the other people that were shot. Pray for them to help them recover and not have breakdowns because of it or whatever, and have it affect the rest of their lives. Let them be able to live their lives again. That's what I'm praying for. But we have to do something. We have to do something to stop people like that kid that did this. We have to help them help themselves so that they don't hurt other people, because they hate themselves so much. They just want to destroy as much as they can before they take themselves out of this realm, basically. So that's all. I just wanted to share this because I really think that if we can just help one person, or you can just help one person by sharing some of this information and help them realize that don't take your anger out on innocent people. I mean, that's what happened to you. You were innocent once, and somebody gave you bad information. Somebody lied to you. Somebody did something to you to cause you to do something to yourself, and now you can't recover from it. Don't do that same thing to someone else just because it happened to you. Try to find another way of getting help that you need so that you don't hurt someone or yourself. Right. So that's all I wanted to say. But I want to say thank you to him, or Ted, for hanging out with me tonight, and for putting up with my rants, because I know I was really bad, but can't help it. But it was nice hanging out with you. But I want to say thank you to everyone in the chat that came to hang out with us tonight off of X and Rumble and YouTube. And I appreciate all of you, because this is a really tough subject. It's not something that people want to talk about. People don't want to admit that we have this problem, right? Yeah. But we do. This shooting is proof that we have a problem. And I'm shocked, and in a way, it's sad that it happened at all, but the fact that it happened in a state that actually is promoting this stuff is shocking, because usually they don't do that. Usually they leave the state they're in and go to another state, you know what I mean, and do it in a different one, or another city, you know, or things like that. But I hope that we can fix some of this so that doesn't happen again, by helping these people get the help they need, real help, real psychological help. So I don't know. Do you have anything else you want to say, Ted, before we leave?
You know, I mean, it's a shame. And if you look at the statistics in a sanctuary trans state and all that stuff, I mean, at the bottom line is just, I forget who posted it today on Twitter, but it said, guns aren't evil, people are evil. And that's really what it all boils down to.
Yep.
And somebody could have done it with a spear or a sword or a knife or whatever. But when you're targeting little kids and you're at a church, I mean, it's just evil at that point. But yeah, hopefully with maybe some of the administration's progression with things. And I even saw today, Janet, I don't know if you saw this, RFK Jr. wanted to look into what some of these SSRI drugs are that they're giving these kids.
Yep.
For gender recognition, affirmity type of thing.
Yep.
If that could have something to do with it. I mean, if we just cut all that crap out and the parents tell, hey, little girls, you're not a boy. Hey, little boys, you're not a girl. And straighten things up. I don't know. But the tragedy yesterday is terrible. And just hopefully we can, work towards not a condition where we try to accommodate those issues or try to counsel and steer people in those directions, but say, hey, this is screwed up and this shouldn't be happening.
Yeah, 100%. I 100% agree with you. It shouldn't.
Yeah.
But if we can help one person, by doing what we just did tonight, to me, it's worth risking losing my channel for it, because I just want to help people. I just want people to have the knowledge they need, the information they need to know the truth about what's going on around them, because the media is not going to tell you.
Right.
I mean, we just showed you one media that was willing to go out there and say the name of the person, what they did, and all that kind of stuff, and try to explain it, because that's what the news used to be. It wasn't a group of people sitting around with coffee mugs talking about, oh, my feelings, stuff. When I'm not a news person, okay, I'm not a news person. I'm not a reporter. Okay, yeah. I'm just a person who's trying to share stuff that I've seen, and why I think it's important that people need to know the truth about it. A reporter is supposed to gather information and put the truth out so that who actually did what, that this bank was robbed or whatever, there was a car wreck or whatever, airplane crash, who owned the airplane, with facts, because that's what the news is supposed to do.
Yeah.
But it's very rare that we even get that anymore, because we get propaganda is what we're getting. We're not getting the facts. And that's when
100%.
I love Trump, because Trump is trying to be as transparent as possible. He's the most transparent president I've ever seen in my lifetime.
You and me both.
I've never
100%.
seen another president that wants almost every single executive order in public, So people
Yeah.
can see that he's not using an auto pen, you know,
Yeah.
and why he's signing it, you know, why is he doing it? And he has people around him to explain, this is why we're doing this and all that
Yeah.
is so that you can go back later and look it up. Say, I don't remember him talking about that. Let's go watch that, you know.
Yeah.
How many people do you think even knew about that executive order he signed about social media?
Not many.
Very few, because none of the social media wants you to know about it. You know, they don't want you to know
Exactly.
you have rights. You
Yeah.
know, that they're going to get their cozy blanket that's been keeping them safe is going to be ripped away now.
Right.
So you will have the right to say, hey, you can't do that to me. I have the right to say this. You see, now
Yeah.
you're going to have that knowledge, and you wouldn't have if you hadn't seen that or known about it. So that's why I like to share the links too, so people can go back later and look into it. But I want to say thank you again, and you guys have a wonderful evening. We almost went 2 hours. I don't normally ever do that on the Thursday night show, but there was a lot of stuff. But I want to say thank you again, and you guys have a great night. See you later.
You wear nice clothes, people think you're showing off. If you wear simple clothes, people think you're poor. If you speak your mind, you're rude. If you stay quiet, then you're a coward. If you're successful, then you're arrogant. And if you're struggling, then you're lazy. You see, no matter what you do in life, people will always have something to say. So ignore people and their opinions. Because so long as your God is pleased with you, who cares what people think?
He knows that this is much bigger than him. This is about the American people. They have no idea what they have unleashed. He was ready to go face the cameras and come out swinging.
What will future Americans say we did in our brief time here on Earth? It will be defined by your vision, your perseverance, and your grit. Nothing will sway us, nothing will slow us, and no one will ever stop us. We are Americans. Ambition is our heritage. Greatness is our birthright. And the future belongs to us.